What's going on, everybody? Here's 7CR. I'm your resident Titan main Tibber.
I would be your resident hunter main, Fate Spiral.
And I guess, hunters are okay. Hunters are... the more I played this week, the more I've come to love that throwing knife. You can pull off some sick shit with that. But... this week, another dead week as far as Destiny 2's PvP. We should be used to this by now.
Yeah, I'm kind of coasting to the end of the season. I'll play a bit.
I'm hoping something magical happens. Well, it'll be tomorrow because we're recording this on Monday. With the... and that's my alarm that we were supposed to be recording. Look at that. I'm professional, fellas. I was ahead of the game today, but I didn't turn off my phone. I'm hoping something magical happens, and like Empyrean Foundation is going to be some kind of trial, something. I'm hopeful. I'm still holding out hope.
I'm skeptical. I don't know.
Who knows?
I would like to see that, but at this point, I think we end the season kind of disappointed.
PvP definitely is. I can agree with that. Ian, I'm usually the optimist between us two. And
yeah.
I know, it's something when I'm saying it. We did have, I think for the first time ever, 2 exotics get ousted in 1 week. Did you hear about that?
No. What do you mean?
The Worm God's Caress, there's a bug that lets the damage increase from the melees stay way longer than it's supposed to, so you could one-shot Riven with a freaking throwing hammer, which was nice. And Warlocks, the Karnstein gauntlets, are whack as well. That the melee buff from those are lasting longer than intended to, and they're able to one-shot... I think it was able to one-shot in Crucible, if I remember correctly. So that's fun.
Wow.
Yeah. You missed out on some stuff. I
did play. I even played comp PvP, so I did play.
I got my matches in. I got them in offline because I was worried about rust and being rusty and whatnot, and that did not happen.
My sniping's awful now. Oh, it's bad. I've not been playing in, like, even before I was not, when I was playing a lot more. Arbalist, counter aping with fusion rifles and stuff. Because, that's what, the comp team needed, so that's what I did.
I like the way you worded that. That's going to go into our thing that we were like the meat and potatoes of this episode. Yes. That's what the team needed. I played some comp too, and like you, I had to adjust how I played to whatever I was playing because I, more often than not, am freelance. Every once in a while, I get a team together of fellow streamers, and we take our licks. We're not good, but we're not bad. We're in that gray area where the matches are either really good or really bad. There's no in between.
Yeah.
But like you just said, that filling a role that people need. Let's go philosophical on this. There's a famous clip with Bruce Lee where he's talking about water. That if you pour water into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you pour it into a kettle, it becomes kettle. So what he's talking about is like the introduction to what athletes call flow state. Very fancy term. We've kind of touched on it in past episodes, but this episode, with PvP being the way it is, we took this as a perfect time to actually get into it a little bit more and talk to what it means to us. The beginning step, flow state, finding and being able to fill out what is your team. So, example, my role on the team is usually sniping. But if I see that we already have a sniper and he's better than me, I'm going to let him snipe. And I'm going to look and see what else is needed. Do we need somebody to just pump bullets into a guy? I'll throw on an auto rifle. Do they need somebody to shut down the guys aping? I'll throw on my shotgun. you got to be able to feel out what your team is needing and also what the other team is throwing at you. There's no point in banging your head against them over and over with a sniper when they are going to shut you down every time. It's pointless. You're just losing the match. After 2 matches, you cannot counter snipe them. Give up, swap to something else that you're good with. At least that's my philosophy.
See, this is where... So, obviously, I used to play a lot with Canadian Chad, but he hates me now. Just kidding. But, and, used to snipe a lot, so that was kind of covered a bit. So, I mean, like, we had a team. I'm more freelance now. I do play with... the matches I did play, I played with Taco from Stream On. So
there we go, my man. That reminds me, I need to send him an invite to 7CR. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of freelance. My rule of thumb, I mean, I try and look either at what while we're flying in, or because I will make my decisions then. Or I will kind of look at the screen beforehand where it shows everybody. I mean, it's a lot easier to look in inventory. I mean, it would be a lot easier just to look at that screen, but in inventory kind of gives you a better kind of idea. Especially with whatever exotic they happen to be running and stuff, with ornaments, it can be kind of tricky to figure out what it is. But I usually make my decision then, and it either works or if it doesn't work, I usually change it up.
How often do you give it before you decide, okay, I need to make a change?
Probably a round.
1 round? I give it 2 just in case, especially when I'm first starting. Make sure I'm warmed up. I'm used to what they're going to do. Usually by 2 rounds, I can figure out the way it's going to
go. I'll give it 1. Just because, I mean, I don't know about you or like how your build is set up. I usually get my super by the 3rd, and
something like that.
Depending on what I'm using, I can generally shut down said super. If I'm using, like, say, an arbalist or, sniper rifle or whatever I'm happening to be using at that time. But I usually give it a round. I can usually kind of feel, what I'm. Or if I need to swap, or if this is going to work, or if, we kind of got lucky around, Not only that, but, like, halfway through, like, prime example, I was playing with Taco the other day, and what the heck was the map? It was one of the ones from the beta for D2, and it's got, like, I think B, or heavy spawns out, like, on outside. It's Vexy looking. Almost. It's got the big hole in the circle. Hole.
I want to say. I keep wanting to say Shores of Time, but I know that's wrong.
No, it's not that one. I don't know, but
we know the one.
It's got that little hole, little cave, whatever.
We swear we play PvP. We just don't remember names.
I don't look at map names. I'd be like, okay, it's that one. We're good. I know this one.
I got this.
But we were playing that. We absolutely we're destroying these kids. I was aping around with a retold tale, slide shotgunning people, and these kids went and they threw on fusion rifles and came back and beat us. Prime example. I mean, like, it took them several rounds to get there, but they did it. And I think they did it because we could have probably switched up to kind of counter their counter almost, but I don't think we did. At least I didn't until probably it was a little bit too late.
Yeah.
But you gotta be able to be adaptive. I mean, that kind of goes all the way back to, I think, like, our first episode. I said, you gotta be able to adapt to the situation.
Exactly. Flow state is, of course, you're gonna hear. That's just the beginning part of it, because overall flow state, if you were to talk to somebody that's a specialist in it, they will explain it to you as a heightened sense of focus that you're able to be reactionary because you are so comfortable in the situation. You know exactly what you need to be doing and how to change it and what you need the outcome to be. And if you watch me playing comp with people, I tend to get a little bossy because when we're playing, it's like I almost use their supers like as an extension of mine. So like I start calling things out. I was like, somebody needs to use their super now. So and so go, and then I do that, and I'm surprised as nobody's told me shit about it yet. But the thing is, it usually is right that if they use their super when I said, the match goes our way. And it I know it sounds like a dick, and I'm cocky as hell, and I don't like that.
Hang on. I don't think you actually sound like a dick here at all. I think if you're running a team, there's 3 of you. Think about like your freelance experiences versus. I'm sorry, I'm watching the Flyers game.
It's all good.
Think of your freelance versus like playing with a team. Everyone's kind of chaotic and all over the place, and there's obviously really no communication for the most part. Where I think having somebody who takes, I want to say control of the team, and is making the call outs, even if the call out could be better, I think even having a call out is better than not having anything, and I think I would say that's probably why nobody's kind of like yelled at you for it. I mean, like I kind of try and keep people on track when we play. I haven't recently, but I haven't been playing a lot. I think having somebody who's kind of in charge is, the way to go.
It just, for me,
it keeps everyone a little bit more organized.
It keeps everything organized, and it gives a better outcome for the team. Because overall, it's a team sport. I mean, don't get me wrong, but Destiny is not esports ready by any means, which we'll get into in the part 2 of this. But by having it where you have somebody that's calling out, it makes it where things are easier. Like, okay, they have this super up. When it pops, so-and-so, use yours to counter it and then go on a rampage and try and get as many people as you can. If you don't get anybody else, it's fine. You still shut them down and you stop them from reaping. So there's all kind, like, it just depends on what you're talking about. Flow state, like I said, hypersense to what is going on. So you're able to read the map very well. You're able to, it's, some people don't even call it flow state. They call it getting in the zone. When you're in the zone playing, it's all reactionary. But to get there, there's things along the way. For me, I play slow. I make them play my game, is the way I refer to it. If I'm sniping, I want them to stay in this lane because I know that I'm going to get the shot every time. If you watch Bannerfall, every time I jump up, get on the top ramp, run to the end with my Dune Marchers, and I slide, and I'm able to have the shot ready, pinpoint landed, and knock at least one every time. Psychotics will vouch for it because I played with him, and literally I say, get out of my lane right as somebody goes down. Because that is my spot. I am so confident and so relaxed in that spot. If I have somebody in there, they are going down.
I am a lot more adaptive. I can play fast, slow. I will play either way. It doesn't bother me to do either. I would like to dictate the pace. But again, it also depends on who we're playing with. So if we're playing with a team, obviously we can try and dictate the pace a little bit better. But if we're playing, randos, it's a little bit harder to do so.
Yeah. Well, like when I say make them play my game, that's an overreach. It's not going to be like that every match. There's going to be matches where I can't make them do that. And then you have to adapt to it, of course, because that's the whole part of flow state. Being able to adapt, being able to flow. Because, to finish the Bruce Lee's quote that we started with at the beginning, water can both flow and it can crash. It can go smoothly and just go with them through the motions, or it can erode rock. And it's all on it's going on around it. So if they are playing slow, that wanting me to come to them, no, I'm not going to fall into that. I'm going to go where I want to go and make them come to me. If they are wanting to hit me head on, I'm going to plant my feet and I'm going to down them before they get to me.
I don't know about that. See,
this is why we started the podcast, because you and I look at it differently.
So, if we're playing a team who's snipers, taking it slow, long ranging us, I want flanks. I want flanks, and I want shotguns or fusion rifles. Just because, what are you going to do to counter me? What can you do to stop me? You either have to A, be watching everything, which isn't going to happen. Somebody's going to get you. Or B, you have to hit that miraculous, hip fire, quick scope type shot on me with your sniper rifle or arbalist kind of deal, which I'm gonna bank on you not being able to do 9 times out of 10. Most people aren't, candy cakes or any other kind of goated Destiny PvP.
You are right. That is harder to do, but I mean, when it's like, if, for example, if I know you want it to happen so badly, you and I played each other with teams of Crucible. We would have an issue because you you said flanks and whatnot, but I'm an aggressive sniper. When I snipe, I get to where I want to be and I set up, and if you're not there, I move on. I do not camp lanes.
You don't have to. I mean, it doesn't even matter that, so when I say I flank, I mean, I will, I
know it's hard to describe it, because it's when you're playing in the match, you just do it without even thinking.
Yeah, it's not where you are, but it's where most people are going to be. So I play lanes, but not. I'll sit in. I'll be in lanes, but 9 times out of 10, I'm looking to get you in a spot where most people aren't going to be kind of not just sitting, but looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bannerfall. I mean, so most people, like you said, like to use that catwalk, right? 9 times out of 10, I could run the outside part of the map through the buildings and really not have any issue, because most of the fighting's through heavy, towards heavy, if you're outside,
yeah,
or towards the catwalks. From catwalk to catwalk, I can go through buildings, and I'm a hunter, so I'm a lot quicker than most people.
True. When I'm playing that and I get up on that, I get my shot and I usually land it, and then I don't go forward. Actually, I end up dropping backwards at a diagonal to drop off back, because depending on both sides, there's boxes there in the middle. So when I drop, I land behind those boxes every time. So that way, if somebody is like you're saying, that they come through the outside right there or through the back, which is really unlikely because they have to be booking it. More likely they come through that little side entrance.
Dodge.
They have to be going. They have to be going. They would go through that entrance right there on the side, but the box blocks that view. So I get my snipe, I drop behind the box, and I check. I always call it check doorway, and that's just become habit every time. Every time I do that, that's exactly what I do. Now, if I get counter sniped up there, then I get where I can't. That's not going to work. I need to do something else. But flow state, it's just being comfortable to the point that you can let everything else going on around outside. The hockey game that's on TV, check the score when you're respawning, but when you're live and you're playing, you're there.
Oh, yeah. No, normally I don't check scores until I'm over.
I'm just giving you shit.
It's just that this one's a very important one.
I'm just giving you crap. You just get where you can let it all go and just be reactionary. Let what they are doing and what you're doing flow to get you where you want. if you want to see more on what we're talking about, we highly recommend the video by Ron Rambo Kim on YouTube. Literally titled "How to Enter Flow State within Gaming." The video is really good. It's got a lot of good info. Even if you just breeze over it, you'll catch a lot of what we're talking about. Very good video for y'all to check out if you don't want to get too high-end PvP. But on talking about high-end PvP, we did mention that things are not esports ready. Because, well, why do you think it's not esports ready?
I don't think it ever will be.
It's really hard to balance.
Destiny. So when they do PvP, when they do esports games, generally loadouts can be set, or it's not very RNG. You would almost have to really like lock down and have predetermined loadouts for people.
That's one thing,
and it's not Destiny. And I don't think it really ever will be. I mean, like, I know there are people who do Destiny, like, scrims and, things like that, but will it ever be, like, a main scene kind of esports game? Probably not. I would highly doubt it. I think our kind of PvP claim to fame will be something like Trials. It's just gotta be. Like, there's just... you can't, like, I don't know, like, and even if you say, oh, well, Fates, what about things like Fortnite, where, like, people's, there is RNG. I mean, that's true, but a pump, a green pump is still a green pump.
Yeah.
It's
not like where I can get...
There's a difference between, like, this retold tale and that retold tale, or this fusion rifle and that one. And, like, but, it's not like... You can sit and say, oh, well, every retold tale is going to work the same, because it's not, because perks can be different barrels, ranges. Different, yeah.
For me, the one thing that I think is really holding it back is the lack of a skill gap. And don't get me wrong, there are some things that do have a skill gap in game, which are the weapons themselves. Like, perfect example.
That too.
That you got your entry level weapons. So, like, if I was to tell you an entry level pulse rifle, what would you give me, Face? $10 is I can get it in the first shot.
Go for it.
Bygones.
100%. Very, very. I mean, so the only I would say that for two reasons. One, it's stupidly easy to obtain. Right? I mean, play Gambit. Very easy. You have to have some RNG to get it to drop or whatever, obviously, but that's most things with Destiny anyway. Not only that, but it is very user-friendly. And I feel like there are more acceptable, quote-unquote, god rolls of that gun than maybe some of the higher skilled, the harder to use things.
Right. When we're talking about these entry-level weapons, we're calling them entry-level because the ease of use, ease of obtaining, and just the fact that they are very forgiving. That if you make mistakes with these, it's not going to be the end of the world. Where on the high-end ones, if you try and use them and you have not mastered using them, you will have issues. But if you have mastered using these things, you will shut down everybody 90% of the time. And they're very high risk, high reward. And that's where the skill gap for those comes in. They have a very high skill ceiling, as Fates put it one time when we were talking. Let's go with snipers. I got two. You want to take your shots?
Oh, yeah. I got you.
Go for it.
We're going to go with the good old Bite of the Fox.
Number one, kinetic right there, aggressive frame. Iron Banner sold a snapshot opening shot one that is the god roll. It had arrowhead break, a handling masterwork, and everything. Before some other snipers came out, that was what I used when invading in Gambit. If I invaded with that thing and I had ammo, I guarantee you I'm coming back with 4 kills. Number two?
The Twilight Oath, specifically the curated role.
Bingo, because it has snapshot, and even though box breathing now will let you shut down a super if you get it to proc, box breathing has an audible sound when it turns on, which is really nice for beginning snipers because that sound, when you hear that sound, that means stop aiming down sights and move. And that'll help you give you your timing down for being an aggressive sniper. Sniping as a whole, it does take skill. You got to be able to anticipate the shot. If you're banking on using the aim assist, getting that in your favor, but
not over peeking.
Don't double peek. There's all kinds of things that come with sniper, but with these two, they're the most forgiving. The Bite of the Fox has some stupid aim assist. Add a targeting adjuster onto it, you will be golden.
That's what I used to get my revoker.
Bingo. The Beloved's a mid tier one, honestly, because when we were talking about what we wanted to do with these, we didn't give each other's names or give each other the weapons, so we just kind of throwing them out. But we did talk about high tier, in tier, and whatnot weapons, and Beloved, we agreed was kind of a middle ground that you don't use it when you're first starting, but it is one to get your feet wet once you've gotten more comfortable sniping.
I love that gun. It is by far my favorite feeling sniper rifle in D2.
It is really good, like hands down.
It has a very D1 snipers type feel to it, and that is why I like that gun so much. That and then the ability to go get quick draw, snapshot. Ooh.
I have yet to get the quick draw snapshot one. I really want it. That is
what I have. I grinded it out when we did the community event thing. I sat there for like, I think 2 days, a couple hours in just going through Beloveds, and finally.
Just out of curiosity, what's your masterwork on snipers? Like, what do you like? Range. Okay.
I go range because range stat affects aim assist, and we all know how aim assist and bullet magnetism work in D2, or well, in Destiny in general.
Right. I like handling, actually. I want to be able to ready and stow that weapon really quick because otherwise it just feels really sluggish to me, even with quick draw and snapshot.
But you forget
Hunter with the exotic.
I run Dragon Shadow, so I do not need handling masterwork.
That does basically give you a 10 handling masterwork every time with just off a dodge. Okay. Yeah,
and I usually have my dodge fairly quickly. So, but it's, I mean, like if you want a sniper, I 100% recommend it. But like you said, I would say it's definitely mid tier as far as skill gap. It's definitely not as forgiving as Bite of the Fox or the Oath, but
these two, they're entry level for ease of use, but definitely are harder to obtain because you can get a Twilight Oath and it'll feel nice, but it just doesn't compare to the curated.
I would say just the arch, that kind of archetype in general is kind of a little bit more easy to kind of
double tap a body. Yeah, it's a double tap a body is a kill. Bite of the Fox, it's a little harder to obtain since Iron Banner is once a month, once a month. It's about
thereabout,
but it's everybody has access to it. You don't need to get a team. You just need to do your Iron Banner quest, no matter how sucky it is, and then turn in tokens like there's no tomorrow. Which one are we going with next, Fates? What's your call?
Let's go into hand cannons.
Are exotics allowed?
Yes.
Perfect. Ease of use.
I have a bonus one.
All right. Let's start with Ace of Spades.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take a gamble and go with either Trust or Malfeasance. Trust.
Very, very entry level hand cannon, in my opinion.
Why Trust?
Let's start. So obviously, very easy to obtain. Play Gambit, or even Reckoning, but Gambit obviously would be the easier activity, I guess. Although Reckoning's not too hard anymore, but
Depends on the team.
yeah, that's true.
I got some doo-doo teams the other day and it was bad.
I gotta finish upgrading my little synthesizer thing so I can focus on getting a the other hand cannon.
Spare.
Yes.
Spare is definitely mid-tier.
Yes. But anyway,
in terms of ease of use.
Super easy to get, and it is I believe it's one of the only few, I could be wrong here, but it's one of the only few that you can get like explosive rounds or whatever you want to call it on it.
Yeah. I actually tried that for you the other day.
I have one. I had one like way before explosive rounds became popular. I used to use it for PvE all the time because it's fun. But
I have an outlaw explosive rounds one, and I tried it, and I actually did not like it. The damage kept its damage at range. It's just that archetype feels really funky to me. If I'm going to use a 180, I'm going to grab Malfeasance, because then I don't have to worry about headshots. 5 shots to the body, dead.
Now, see, my favorite 180 is something that you can't get anymore.
Which is?
The Optative or whatever it's called.
Optative. Love that thing.
If you're around for that season and you have the role I have,
you have the one I want: rapid hit and kill clip.
Yes, and I believe
I could not get that thing.
I think it's also a range masterwork. Hang on.
Well, with hand cannons though, they have a range camp of 30 meters or something like that. It's the difference between the cap and the minimum. It's 3 meters, so like 2 steps.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a range masterwork. I have accurized rounds, rapid hit, kill clip, and full bore or polygon rifling. I run full bore, just for the range. I mean. But I could probably run polygon. I mean, like right now with all those perks on, I've got a 72 in range.
That's overkill. You could probably run polygon and be fine.
Yeah.
I have 2 that were acceptable. I have rapid hit mulligan and rapid hit opening shot, which the opening shot's actually really nice.
Yeah, I like opening shot as a perk. I really do.
I was surprised. I thought this was going to be garbage, but no.
No, I keep things with opening shot, even like primaries and stuff, or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, that role is very Lunas Hal-ish without actually being a Lunas. And honestly, I like it because it's a 180, so it feels... I honestly say it kind of feels a little bit better than my Lunas. Like, they're kind of right there, like 1A and 1B kind of thing. But anyway, to kind of get us back on topic, the Trust. Yes, I like the Trust as an entry one. Obviously, explosive rounds, a lot of people will recommend because of the no damage fall off of the perk. It does take a little bit to get used to, I feel like, as far as using explosive rounds. But, I mean, if you can get, some solid perks on a normal, Trust, I think it's a perfectly serviceable gun in PvP. Especially if, like, maybe you're used to using pulse rifles or, scout rifles. Or
that fast fire rate, it does make it nice.
Yeah.
Ace of Spades.
It's a little bit more forgiving if you miss that first shot or that second shot or whatever.
Right. Ace of Spades, of course, I can already tell you where that one's ease of getting, and the fact Memento Morible is, holy crap, that word, is very, very killer.
Very, very fun.
And, of course, the aim assist on it is stupid.
Yes. The only thing about that gun that I would warn people about is the recoil on it is very, very strange.
It's almost like it didn't get touched by that 150 nerf. Or 150 rework.
It's like the way the gun kicks. It kicks like off to the opposite side or in a different way than most. So when it like, I don't know, it doesn't reset properly, I feel like. It's weird. It's definitely something that like you're going to want to use the gun, maybe, go run some strikes and like kind of get a feel for the gun before you do anything super crazy like, jump in a comp match and be like, oh, this gun sucks. Fates is liar.
He's a hunter. He always lies.
He's just plugging it because he loves Cade. Like, he's a.
Why do we have to bring back Saint 14? Why can't we bring back Cade?
Facts, seriously. But it's definitely very easy, like you said. Just the kick. Momentum Mori is just an awesome perk. I mean, it is an exotic, but if you are in like PC, that recoil doesn't matter as much or doesn't feel as strange.
Right,
it's a bit different. I know that was like running roughshod through the meta before they changed Momentum Mori a bit.
When you
like
swap weapons, you don't keep them in the mag anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely very two easily obtainable hand cannons. If hand cannons are what you're looking to get into, definitely would suggest them.
All right, these last ones we're not gonna kind of rapid fire them a little bit. Fusions.
Let's go Epicurean. It's personal favorite. You can get it from the Menagerie. Different roles kind of work. It is not the standard kind of archetype for fusion rifles that most people recommend, but it can outperform the Erentil with the right perks.
Right.
And I like it. It's just really good.
For me,
it's really good.
Go ahead.
Nah, you're good. Go ahead.
For me, I'm picking Erentil's little brother Prolium. That charges a little bit faster, still got the same kill range, and bullet spread is really nice if you get the stability masterworks on it. Shotguns?
Two of my favorites, the Dust Rock and the Retold Tale. Dust Rock, super easy to get. It drops where? Like in
everywhere?
Everywhere. And you can also go for, like, you can set your masterwork in the Menagerie Fort. So, definitely worth picking up. Primary slot or kinetic slot. It's honestly, if you see people, a lot of high-end people will run it too. At least the higher end of comp. If they're aping.
One of these things that you'll notice with these names or these guns, these are what you're getting killed by from like starting comp to about end of mythic.
Yeah.
But these are what you're going to be getting killed by because they're the ease of use on them. They're so easy to use, so easy to obtain, and they're so forgiving. There's no... If I miss my Dust Rock shot, I can come back from it. For me, my shotgun, for ease of use, Retold Tale. I use that thing all the time starting out. Very easy to get. I think you can also get...
use it.
It's a really good one. Mindbenders is better, but it's harder to obtain. You gotta grind for the right roll and all that. I think Retold Tale is also part of Menagerie, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure. It might be. It's a Dreaming City weapon.
It is a Dreaming City weapon. I want to say that is the shot.
Might be.
The Dreaming, because they usually try and put one Dreaming City weapon in each pull. But
it's a really solid energy slot. So
very
options, people, options.
Sidearm Last Dance is basically an energy last word. Just pump your shots. Don't even worry about getting the headshot. If you get the bodies, you'll nail it.
When D1 or D2 launched, that was, sidearms were kind of really, really prevalent. That was my go-to. 100% PvP go-to. It cleans people up. It's like a laser. It's a close-up laser. It's ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Scout rifles.
Randy's. If you can get it from the Crucible quest, the thing is disgusting.
And the Crucible quest is, it's not that bad. It's really not. Especially with
this season with people not using scout rifles right now, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
SMGs to end it up.
Recluse.
Another one. Ease of use on it with how the changes were made to comp. It's easier to hit Fabled if you can hit it. That's not to discredit anybody that hasn't hit Fabled yet and is struggling. We put it on there because once you do get there, if you want to use an SMG, Recluse is a very easy go-to. Second one?
Oh god. The exit strategy.
Another pinnacle weapon, very good one. A lot of people swear by it. I have not gotten it yet, so I cannot
I
make
haven't
any.
bothered yet.
It doesn't strike my eye because when it comes to SMGs, I like to use one of the high tier ones. High tier, we may actually compiled a list of these because we wanted to make it where we actually had a gun from each thing to kind of talk about why the skill gap is so different between these. And these guns, you probably will not see until Mythic 3 or even Legend, because these guns are, if you use them and you're good with them, you will destroy with them. If you are not good with them, you will be punished. You will be punished severely.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Exactly. SMG for me, Antiope. My role, Outlaw Kill Clip.
I used to use that back when the meta was that and the Lance.
Yep,
I believe it was.
It didn't take a nerf. It just kind of went off the board for a while. It's still just as good. I actually prefer it to the Recluse just because the way that it fires, the fact that I can get different scopes to make the range longer.
I'm actually not a fan of the Recluse, but it's personal preference kind of thing.
Yeah.
But let's go with sniper rifles since we started there. Let's get them in early.
Sniper rifles, this one's tough. I personally do not like this one, but it is sworn by high-end snipers. You'll see Cruiser use it, you'll see Cammy Cakes use it, you'll see Frostbolt use it, but the Tatara Gaze, it's got stupid zoom, but if you get used to the gun and can play with it, the shots that you can pull off are just ridiculous. It can one-shot a snooper. You can one-shot a snooper. It's just a good gun all the way around. Like, you can't go wrong with Tatara's Gaze.
I had a quick draw one that I liked quite a bit.
It's good. It's just with how much it zooms in, I'm not a fan.
That was my issue kind of with the Bite of the Fox a little bit. It had like a highest kind of zoom. And
it does.
I don't have that with the Beloved, so.
Let's see here. Another sniper on the list that we made, Supremacy. You get it from the Last Witch raid, but it is another sniper that it's a really hard to use. It's harder. The handling stat on it is really low.
Yeah. The learning curve.
The learning curve is harder. It's steeper.
Less forgiving.
Right. Very high skill ceiling. The Supremacy does have a lower handling stat, which is why it's harder to use. You can't ready and stow it really fast, even with an exotic, that it does make it more difficult to manage.
Yeah.
Let's go with... Let's see... What would you call a high S tier hand cannon?
High S tier hand cannon? The Kramal's dagger.
Bingo.
100%.
110s by themselves are a hard archetype to use, but with the Krimals, you can actually work your way and get a roll of Outlaw Kill Clip very easily. I have one True Shot Sight for range, Drop Mag, Outlaw, Kill Clip. And this thing, when I get my kill, I turn around and I can start two-tapping everybody else. And as long as I can keep it going, I'm just shredding people. But it is a harder gun to master because it's a 110, much slower than your 150s and 180s that are popular right now. It's just you have to get used to it. For people that want to get used to it, take it, go to PvE, start popping some fallen heads. Just get where you would only take the shot when you can get a headshot. If you get that rhythm going, you're gold.
That's what it's all about. because it's like everything we're kind of mentioning, very unforgiving if you miss a lot.
Exactly.
Or miss the first shot. In the case of like the Kermal, in the case of the Kermals, miss that first shot, because if you miss the first one, you're probably dead.
Bows are in the same thing. Bows in general, like if you see somebody in a mythic rank using a bow, be ready for just them to just take the body shot and then turn around and finish you off with a hand cannon or a sidearm.
I have a bow with the explosive arrowheads on it, and it is dirty, and I pair it with a last word, and
there you go.
It's not a fun time if you're on the other team.
Sidearms too, as well. Just there, if you get good with a sidearm, holy crap, the stuff you can pull off is ridiculous. Oh, yeah. You want to watch some amazing sidearm play? Watch True Vanguard. Dude is dirty with a sidearm. What you got?
This one would fall in the same kind of category for me, at least, as bows, because I feel like they both occupy the same kind of weird slot in most people's minds. High impact scouts. I mean, I've talked about it before. I used to use a cut and run with the last word. I used to use a bow with the last word. Both kind of serve the same purpose. You know, you get that first shot and then you clean up. Right. Or if they're at a range, there you go. You got your range weapon.
I used it like a rapid fire sniper. Actually, because with high impact scouts, 3 taps to the head. 3 taps to the head, they're down.
These would be things like your Jade Rabbit, cut and runs,
Calicia Noblesse, and my favorite, does not compute for some old school. Auto rifle. What you got?
I mean, we can go with the Cerberus, or
that's
it's technically an auto rifle.
It is, and with the catalyst, it's dirty. Have you gotten one? Have you gotten the catalyst for it?
I literally just got the catalyst the other night when I was streaming.
It is dirty when you get the catalyst. How tight the spread gets is stupid.
I've been killed by that gun a bit, and it's fair to say it pissed me off.
But it's one of those that you have to get used to aiming down sights, because if you don't aim down sights immediately, it's all over the place. The final one is the one that I personally have a soft spot for, because these were my guns. Most of D1 slug shots. Slug shotguns have a high skill gap to 2 in particular. Ganora's Axe and Blasphemer are the ones that I use. You gotta, like, it's one of those things that you just kind of feel it. Like when you're about to die, but then you get the shot off and they go first.
You gotta. It's almost my best comparison for this kind of gun would be like D1 fusion rifles.
Bingo.
Where you had to kind of and the aim it's going to be a little bit different, but so for D1 fusion rifles, you had to so most people aim for the head, right?
Yeah.
You
aim for the chest,
or you have to aim low. I feel like slug shotguns are almost like you don't have to train yourself to aim specifically, but you almost have to train yourself to, I don't know,
delay the shot.
I mean, not even just, I mean, honestly, I think you kind of need to train yourself to aim a little bit too. So, like, most people, when they shoot a shotgun, center mass, because you want the the spread to hit. Completely different with, a slug shotgun. You have to aim head. I mean, obviously, most people want to aim head anyway, but I feel like most people in their mind go, "Oh, shotgun. I can shoot them anywhere," and that's it. Not the case most of the time with slug shotguns, unless they're already damaged. But definitely, I would also add in the good bone structure in there. A little bit easier to get in comparison to the other two.
I haven't gotten a roll I liked on that though.
I think I have one. I actually think I have the same axe and bone structure.
Nice.
Which lucky. I wasn't trying to get a bone structure. Just
the Blasphemer I got. I went into Sorrow's Harbor when a group was already doing the boss and everything, and I just joined in like the round before the end boss.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they had no sacrifices the entire time. So not only did I get the blast from how I wanted, I also got the ship for no sacrifices during the whole thing. As I was like, oh, high five, guys!
You're so helpful.
So there y'all go. Some weapons for y'all to try out. Entry level for y'all to get if y'all are just getting into comp and you're needing something for some training wheels.
All you new light people.
And some high-end stuff for y'all that want to push the limits and see how good y'all can really be in the Crucible. If you are already a sniping god and you want to get better and you want to push it even further and you don't feel like you can with that Revoker or Beloved in your hands, grab a Tatari Gaze, grab a Supremacy, and see what you can do. Don't get comfortable with using these easy weapons. Grab something that's harder, and you're going to see yourself grow exponentially in the Crucible.
I was just about to say, it's time to get uncomfortable, boys, since it's a bit slower season, you know?
Now's the time. That's going to be it for us here at 7th Column Radio. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. If y'all have anything y'all want to see next, comment down below. If you want to join the Discord, we have a link here as well. If you want to catch us live, you can find me at twitch.tv/Tibbercat, or I do occasionally make a Destiny video and upload to YouTube. You can catch me at YouTube as well. Just search Tibbercat and you'll find me. Fates, where everybody going to find you at?
You can find me on Twitch at Fates_Pyro. Pretty much Fates_Pyro or Fates Pyro. Everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. Definitely going to be looking to put out more YouTube content here soon in the future. Maybe we'll test some builds and stuff. I don't know.
All right. That sounds great, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing it. That's going to be it for us, and we will see y'all next time.